We like to do a little bit of a breath before we start, Anne.
Okay.
Do you feel more relaxed now?
I do.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right, guys, let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. We are joined by a super special guest today. It's Crazy Auntie Anne. Hello.
Hello.
And we were just talking off mic, but, you know, loads of little things have happened on the lead up to this interview. And it's, I think it's fate, you know. I think we're here by fate today.
I agree.
All happens for a reason. And you just so happen to live literally 5 minutes away from us, guys. So it's like, wow, it's a small world. So only a couple of years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, you was a lecturer at college talking about mental health. And now you've become, let me call you a superstar of the internet, social media. A bundle of joy, shall I say.
Oh, thank you.
With millions of people watching your videos. So I guess why we're here today is to understand how that happened, but more importantly for us, who you actually are at the core, because we only see a really snapshot of Anne, you know, the human online. But we've had a coffee with you just then, and you've got so much depth and what a wonderful story you have to share. So I think maybe for people who have not seen you, let's just say who's Anne, who's Crazy Auntie Anne, and who's the Anne the human.
Crazy Auntie Anne. The internet, TikTok, 3.7 million on TikTok now, and 1.7 million on Instagram. All started from making silly videos for my students in lockdown. But yeah, who I am is me, just as I am, you know. So, yeah, and I DJ on my pots and pans on my kitchen top, which eventually led to DJing proper now. So I'm a proper DJ now, and yeah, it's very interesting story.
Is that official, Anne? Can we call you now an international DJ as well?
You can call me an international DJ. I've DJed in Dubai, I've DJed in Los Angeles, in Wisconsin, London, yeah.
Wow.
Next year, Tomorrowland.
Yeah, we're putting that out to the stars, you know.
Still going out to the universe, but
yeah. You know, we talk a lot about this sort of stuff. We cover book covers and things like that as part of the show, and we covered The Secret quite recently. And it's all about manifestation, putting things out to the universe, blah, blah, blah. And again, you are like a walking example of that, you know, getting a vision, being quite audacious about it, action, put yourself out there, be who you are, no filters, and then strange things can happen off the back of it, can't they?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things for me is like not caring what people think as well. So when I started putting out, which has only happened in the last couple of weeks, I went to Tomorrowland. I've been really lucky to have been taken to Tomorrowland. I did a brand deal with, I don't know if I can mention.
Of course you can, yeah.
With Old Spice. Video, and they were really happy with the video. So they took me and my two sons out to Tomorrowland for the weekend, and we had an amazing time. And from that, I want to play at Tomorrowland next year. And you said the one thing, so I've started putting videos out there and saying, I'm going to play at Tomorrowland next year. I will play at Tomorrowland next year. I want to play. The one thing I haven't done is, the one thing that stops people from doing that is, what will people think of me if I go on the internet and say I want to play at Tomorrowland? They'll all laugh at me, and they'll all think I'm being stupid. They'll all think, what's that old woman wanting to do that?
Yeah.
That's
these invasive thoughts.
Yeah, and if you don't have them, which I don't, I really don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I'm going to go and do it. So, and that's the secret, isn't it? Yeah. The secret is manifesting what you want without thinking about what other people think.
Yeah, and not sabotaging those thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because sometimes you can get a great idea, can't you? And I think, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
But there's a but.
Yeah.
But this and but that. And if you cut all the nonsense out, those external voices as well,
yeah,
who's around you, but also the internal.
Have you heard of the cream bun theory?
No.
So I had some counselling years and years ago because I've had a rock bottom in life, you know. And I had some counselling afterwards, and I got taught about the cream bun theory, which is an amazing thing. So basically, there's a little boy, and he's in a waiting room with his mum, and there's toys everywhere. And they're waiting for an appointment or something like that. And there's a cream bun right in the middle of the coffee table. And Mum says, I just need to go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute. So she goes out of the room, and the little boy's playing with all the toys, and he sees the cream bun. He goes, oh, wow. And goes like that. And has a big lick of the cream bun. And then he carries on playing with his toys, and he thinks nothing of it until the door opens, his mum comes back in, and then he thinks, I probably shouldn't have done that. Now, does he feel guilty because he shouldn't have done it, or does he feel guilty because of what his mum thinks of him doing it? Because until his mum walks back in the room, he thinks nothing of it. And that's the thing in life is we want to do whatever we want to do, or we'll do whatever we want to do. And what stops us is what we think other people will think of us. You know.
And is that closer than you think then, is what you're saying? So sometimes the people that are super close to you can have a massive influence.
Yeah, and anybody can't they? Yeah. You know, we've talked recently about teenagers and how they're influenced by what they think other people they should be wearing, shouldn't be wearing, doing, not doing. You know, and I know the cream bun theory is really about guilt. It's talking about feeling guilty about doing something. Do you feel guilty because you've done something or not done something, or do you feel guilty because of what the other person might think about that? You know, because actually, you know, in life, if you think about some of the things that you've done that you think, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or maybe I should have done that, but I didn't do it. Is it because you should or shouldn't have done it, or is it because of what you think people will think of you because you did or didn't? Does that make sense? 100%. You know, and that's what you've got to ask yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, such a big theme. And I guess what place do you have to get to be able to be okay with, you know, doing what you want and not worrying about other people? How do you get there? Rock bottom.
Do you advise that?
Well, I wouldn't wish it on anybody really, but there's nothing like a rock bottom to make you appreciate life. You know,
amen to that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really strange because I had a really rough time in my early 40s. So I was talking earlier about how the music part of my TikTok comes in from my clubbing days, which were in the late 90s. Because I got married young, and then I got divorced when I was 38, and then that's when I went down the clubs, and there was dancing and all this sort of thing.
Where did you go?
Bradford, over 30. Over 30 Sunday night singles club.
You got a JB's?
Yeah.
I love JB's.
Yeah, there was a Sunday night over 30s singles club on Manchester, on Manningham Lane. Forgot what it was called now. And that's where I started going clubbing, and then I ended up in rehab then. Well, in detox by the time I was 44. Got sober when I was 44. And the couple of years before that were really rough, you know. I definitely think that there's a lot of talk around addiction, and one of the subjects that I used to teach when I was teaching mental health was eating disorders. One of the units that I taught was eating disorders. But I actually think an eating disorder is the same as addiction. I think it's a mental illness because it's all about, to me, anything like that is all about control, isn't it? Everything's about control. And when I ended up in addiction, you know, I lost everything. My kids taken off me. I lost my house, lost my car, wrote my car off. Lost my job. I was unemployable, and I ended up in a really bad way. And I got detoxed 7 times, and I ended up in my last detox, which I got sober on the 3rd of March.
Well done.
2006. I'm 20 years sober now.
That's amazing. Well done.
Yeah, and as much as it was a really, really dark place that I wouldn't wish on anybody, because it really is. However, what it did do was make me who I am today, because it changed everything about me, and it changed how I thought about life. For example, learning to be me. And one of the things all my life was I was what's called a people pleaser. I was always wanting to be what people wanted me to be. And by the time I got sober, I don't think I even knew who I was, to be honest. And one of the things that I had to learn when I got sober, because I did a lot of I've done a lot on myself since I got sober, going to AA for a start off, but also counselling, and also like a lot of self learning about me and why. Because anybody that ends up in addiction or an eating disorder or anything like that, for me, they're all... What I mean is, I suppose, mine was alcohol. I was addicted to alcohol. But alcohol wasn't the problem, because if alcohol was an addictive substance, everybody that drank alcohol would be an alcoholic. Do you drink?
Yeah.
Do you drink?
No.
Do you drink? But none of you are alcoholics or whatever. No, you know what I mean? Because it's so the substance is not the problem. The problem is I'm the problem, not the substance. Yeah. And whether it be whatever it is, workaholics, you know, all that sort of thing. And it's all about, to me, getting sober was all about, the only way that I was going to stay sober was to realise what it was in me that made me end up where I was. And I learned a lot about myself. One, I learned I've got an addictive personality. And that actually has ended up being a good asset for me, because what it means is I've got an all or nothing personality. So when I say I'm going to Tomorrowland, I'm going to Tomorrowland.
You mean it. Whatever you're doing, you mean it.
Yeah. Or I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So I'm an all or no. I want it all and I want it now. It's one of the sayings in AA or whatever, is that if I'm going to do something, I'm all in. So when I first got sober, I worked in a cafe and I loved it, and it was brought my life, simplified everything in my life. And then I looked at going back to college, and I went back to college and did a level 2, and I liked that. So I did a level 3, then I did level 4, then I did level 5, then I did level 6, and then I became a teacher because I liked what I was doing. And so I didn't stop until I got to be, and I ended up stood at the front of the classroom where I'd done my level 2 qualification, teaching in that very classroom. So the addictive part of me actually can be an asset. It can be a good thing. It
serves you, but you got to know how to keep a lid on it.
It's knowing what's healthy. Yeah. One of the things that my sponsor told me early on in sobriety, because when I first got sober, I put all drink down and I went, right, now I'm going to go on a diet and stop smoking. Yeah. And she went, whoa, steady on, Anne. Yeah. Deal with your addictions in the order they're going to kill you. And I thought, she's right there. So
good learning. Advice.
That's good advice.
Yeah, it is good advice, yeah. If it's unhealthy and if it's harming you, it's not a good addiction. But if it's something that actually pushes you that bit further, then... So actually being an addict, because I still am an addict, I still see myself as an addict, as an alcoholic. I always will be. But there are things about that I'm sitting here now because of it. I believe I'm sitting here now because of the addictive personality. Because when I started doing TikToks, and I enjoyed doing TikToks, I started doing them every day. And there's a stage early on when I was doing the TikToks, even like all my family were like, oh God, she's had to get doing these dances in the kitchen. But I kept doing it because I enjoyed it, and because I liked it, and because it was my thing, do you know what I mean? So every day without fail, I did a TikTok, 'cause it cheered me up, you know. So
I think another part of it as well is, like you said before, you're a natural people pleaser. You were pleasing people too. That side of you can never leave you as well. You know, I'm one of those people, but like anything, you've got to learn how to put a lid on it and know when it's serving you and when it's not. So that the traits that you have are positive to a certain point, and it's just like that. You were enjoying it. Other people were enjoying it, so it just kept feeding it. Yeah, they did. Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Yeah. And also, I think the transparency of you and your content, the message that you put out, and there's no shame either. It's like, and I think that's why people warm to it, because you are who you are, and you're open about that. And like some of the things that you've already shared, it's none of us are perfect, and none of, you know, but there's too many people that are trying to be perfect, and they can see straight through it. And people see your authentic you, and that's what they're warming to, and that's why you've ended up where you are, you know. So fair play to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I am just me, just as I am. I don't use any filters. I don't wear makeup. I don't, you know. I know I was sort of telling you earlier that I get very, very little hate online. And I'm really lucky from that point of view. I think it's the granny vibes they give out, you know.
You can't say out nasty to your granny, can you?
No, exactly. You know, just get respect. And if anybody does put anything, all the comments coming straight saying, leave Grandma.
Oh, yeah.
You leave Auntie alone.
Yeah.
And, but I got one a couple of weeks ago. It was like, if you dyed your hair black, you'd look younger. And I'm like, but I like my hair white. I'm quite proud of my white hair.
You're probably right, mate. Yeah, but so what?
It's not who I am, is it? It's not real, is it?
Does it matter though?
It's not real. No, I don't care. So why should you? You know. So.
Do you know what? It's so like relevant what you're talking about, because I think it's where people eventually want to end up, in that mindset of being completely comfortable in your own clothes type thing. And it's really relevant to, like, a lot of people are stopping drinking nowadays, and it's like the same sort of similar journey as what you've been through, but quite a long time ago now. I've not had a drink now for 4 years, but I had a really unhealthy relationship with it, and I were leaning into it as part of my identity. And then I had to find who I was again. You know, it's quite a tricky battle, isn't it?
Yes.
But I had to get rid of that identity and then realise, right, this is who I am now, and I'll try and rebuild myself. And I think I'd like to think I've got to a similar stage of, right, I am who I am. If you like it, brilliant. I'll be your mate. I'll be your best pal. If you don't like it, okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. We're not all made to get along with each other, are we?
No, there's always going to be people that don't like you out there.
Yeah.
People, you know what I mean? But we are who we are, aren't we? And it's just, you know, and like I said, I feel really lucky nowadays that I can just be me. And if people don't like me, I don't care. I just really do not care. Do you know what I mean? I just enjoy being me. And it's very freeing, like you said. It's really freeing in life to be able to just be who you want to be. I think some of it comes with age as well, I think
So, yeah.
You know,
a bit of wisdom.
Yeah, and also I can remember the first day I used to always wear. I mean, I always say I don't wear makeup and that, and I'm very, very rarely wear it nowadays. But I did used to put a little bit of mascara on for work when I was younger. But I remember the first day that I went without makeup to work, and it was like, I can't be bothered, so I'm not gonna. And I went to work, and that was literally freeing. You know, and a couple of people sort of said to me, "Are you okay? You don't look very well." And I said, "No, I just haven't got any makeup on." And, you know, and this is how I am now. This is who I'm going to be. And it's freeing because it's just like, I can't be bothered. You know, I can't be bothered to please everybody. I just want to be me. So, and as you said, I think that comes across as people seeing me as being just as I am.
I think a lot of it's a bit of people maybe thinking, "Wow, I wish I could be like that." You know, just so. You know, because it's quite rare. It's rare nowadays, isn't it?
Get yourself a rock bottom.
Get fast pass to rock bottom. See what you think about that. No, I wouldn't advise that either.
No, I wouldn't.
But there is nothing like it in terms of leveling you out and letting you appreciate, like you say, appreciate the finer things. I think we get so wrapped up in all the nonsense, don't we? And it's just the thing of like being able to get out of bed on a morning. Pain-free, moving around, You've got a roof over your head, you've got people around you that you love, and I think we struggle to see it, don't we? And the rock bottom allows you to see that.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Because it teaches you things about gratitude. When you're trying to rebuild yourself, you've got to try think, well, what am I grateful for?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things to be grateful for.
Absolutely.
But I think if we focus on the negatives, then that's what we're latching onto, and that's what can send us on that mental spiral.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. I know that I had, the day I finally got sober, they had to get a priest out that night because I didn't think I'd make it through at night.
Really?
Yeah, I weighed about 6.5 stone, I think,
wow.
something like that. Oh, yeah. Well, I never do anything by halves. I didn't drink in halves and I don't do anything else in halves, you know. But so I'm worrying about weight. We had a 7 detox and they were literally proper, like, sat in this detox in Manchester and wasn't really going to make it through at night. I did have another. I've often said I didn't have another drink in me, but I did have another drink in me, but I didn't have another recovery. I don't think I could have recovered again. I don't think I could have sobered up again. And it were pretty bad. But even now, I'll, like you said, appreciate life. So from there, I've now got 2 grandchildren, for example, who come and stay. They stayed at our house on Sunday night, so they came and stayed overnight and slept for the night, and we took them out for the day on Monday. And not only was that so close to the difference between that and them coming to visit Grandma's grave that they never knew, which could have so easily happened, like you said, or not being able to have the grandchildren because I'm not fit enough to have the grandchildren. And that's the gratitude thing, like I said. Sometimes you just got to stop and think, how lucky am I that I tucked them both into bed and cuddled them up, and it could have been so different. So different.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, in a lot of ways. So, like you said, learning to be grateful for everything in life. I remember going to, I think one day I woke up and early sobriety, very early sobriety. I'd got nothing. There's a saying in I used to say, I came into AA with nothing and I've still got most of it left. So I had nothing, and there were debts up to my eyeballs from drinking and all this sort of thing. And I remember getting up one morning feeling like, I don't know what's today all about. I had £1 to my name. And I thought, well, there's no point in buying a can of lager because, like, one can's no good to me. You know what I mean? It's just like, all that'll do is kick off the addiction to want more booze. So, not that I wanted to drink, because I didn't. Anyway, I walked into town and I bought a skirt from a charity shop for £1. And then I went back home and I put a bit of makeup on and I put this new skirt on. And then I went to an AA meeting for night and I had a really good day. And I only had £1 to my name. But I was really thankful to you'd think that I had £1 million, you'd think the skirt had cost £1 million. Does that make any sense? So now I can afford, now that I'm doing this, I can afford to not have everything I wanted. I'm not, but I can pretty much afford to be able to buy nice clothes and things like that. Let's
go there. Let's go there. So obviously you've gone from that. Let's talk about now. Yeah. So what's going on for you right now? Because, some of the things, like you being able to provide a business for your family. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, as I said, I was teaching in mental health, and then TikTok started to take off. So very quickly, I started making TikToks in lockdown to cheer my students up, and then asked them to set me a challenge. And they said, get 10,000 followers on TikTok. So I started making silly videos to cheer them all up. And then it took off and it went viral and it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it got to the stage where I'd got maybe 600,000 followers, all making about £50 a month, something like that, £100 a month. But I gave it to NSPCC because children are the future, aren't they? So and then it started making more and more money, and then I do a lot of song promos, and where I am now with it is that it's now my full-time job, so I was able to give up teaching, and I was saying to you earlier that I went in one day and I just thought, I'm not doing this anymore. I went and left, and now I do this full-time, so now we're a limited company because I work an awful lot with record labels to produce for music production. We do a lot of song promotions. So I'm very lucky to be able to promote a lot of songs that have not even been released yet.
I'm absolutely beaming you saying this. It was so good. This is so good.
Cool, so we work with I do a lot of brand deals as well. So I work with a lot of brands. I'm working with a brand at the moment, which I can't talk about because it's under embargo, but it's a really big thing. And I'm extremely lucky to be able to do it. That don't make sense to anybody at the moment, but it will in a few weeks when it all appears. And then also I've just I did a thing with Old Spice, a brand deal with Old Spice with a video, and they were really happy with the video, so they've taken me out to Tomorrowland. So I've just got back from Tomorrowland. And now we're a limited company because I got to the stage where we're paying 45% of my wages in tax because I'm making, makes a lot of money. Social media is the place to be. So now I employ my 2 sons, the 2 sons that I weren't allowed to see when I were drinking, because they'd be taken away from me, rightly so. I now employ them both, and they work for the company. And my daughter-in-law also is my personal assistant. She works for the company as well.
Get in.
Yeah.
Pam.
So
Get in.
And we're a family business. We're all directors. So my 2 sons are directors of the company, and they earn good money from it. And we're all in it together,
Beautiful.
And from somebody that. They didn't see him because they were too drunk to be able to see him. To have been able to for the directors of the company now. So yeah.
Wow.
So we're
If
a
that's
brand in
not a
his own
message, I
right.
don't know what is.
That's the message, isn't it?
Every day amazes me. Just, to be able to, I don't know, I just feel like I'm just so lucky, to, and they're so proud of me as well. My sons are so proud of me that that we've got like this fan. They love it as well. They love the editing and all that sort of thing. They edit the YouTube channels and edit some of the videos and run the business. One of my eldest son runs the business and runs a company.
So are you still very, creative in your approach, and like obviously you've got to keep thinking about fresh content?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that a struggle now?
No, not really, because to be honest with you, especially maybe on Instagram a little bit more, on YouTube, we're still up and coming on YouTube. We've just got to the stage where we can monetize on YouTube. So as I was saying earlier, TikTok, I'm so lucky that TikTok it's very much gone down the music route quite a bit, hasn't it? So I do a lot of song promotions. I do like 2 promotions a day. Apparently I'm quite big in the world of music promotion. But do you know?
Cool. Yeah, it's proper cool.
Yeah, do you know what? What is amazing about it all is there's been a few and it's happened on more than one occasion, and it's happening at the moment. It's going to be released this Friday, actually. There was when I've done a song promotion. So there's a guy, Joshua Fawaz, that brought out a song, Not Living on a Prayer. Anyway, I did the promotion for them. And so the company got in touch with us and they said, would you do this song promotion? So I did it. And it's actually gone so viral that it's changed his life. Yeah. So me putting the video on TikTok has actually changed his life. And that, more than anything, is that'll do for me. That'll do.
I think there's a theme with you, Anne, and we spoke about it off camera, but the intention is so pure. Like it's so evident that you just like to help people.
Yeah.
You want to see people do well.
Yeah.
Even when you were a lecturer at college, you've gone through all this and you don't want people to go through the same stuff. So you try to help them, focusing on mental health.
Even the funds that you were initially receiving and what you were doing with it, it's going to come back, that stuff. We always say, you get back what you put out, don't you?
You do get back what you put out, but I think you only get back what you put out if it's genuine. Like I said, that I want to help other people and I want to, even like making a difference to somebody's life is more important than anything to me. If you can make a difference in somebody's life and make them just think about, if you just help one person just with one thing, it can make a difference to somebody's life, and it's just, there's a song, I did a song promotion for somebody it's going to be released this Friday because she didn't know she was going to release it. And then it's ended up getting 2.something million views on TikTok. So she's going to release it on Friday and it's already doing really well, Amazing. And yes, she's paid me for it. And yes, I've got paid for the promotion, but actually more than that, I've actually helped make a difference to that person for a song that they've written. Exactly. And if I can do that, then that means a lot to me, Yeah.
Everything we do is about how we can positively impact other people. And then, because we talk about it all the time, it's even people come up to us in the street and, this is a humble podcast, it's not one of the biggest in the world, but locally people listen to it.
Yeah.
And we might get someone come up to us and go, really like that episode, it made me think a bit differently. Me and him are like that.
Yeah, you just don't realise who...
Job done.
Yeah.
Who's listening or who you've helped, and it's quite refreshing and rewarding as well when you hear that. It could be somebody that you've never met before, and it'd be like, oh wow, yeah, thank you that helped you, and we're grateful to do it, aren't we?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then I think the monetary side, I think it's just a byproduct. Yeah. It's a byproduct of doing good things and helping people. Have you been okay with sort of accepting the flow of...
Mind blowing. It's do you know what's really bizarre about it all as well is that I'm not it's really. So I made such a mess of my 40s that I didn't have any pension or anything, you know what I mean? I didn't have 2 pennies to run together. So when it came to, one of the reasons that I went back to college was because I was going to have no pension, and I was working in a cafe, and I suddenly thought, I'm just going to be on some basic pension. And yeah, it's great to be sober, but if I go back to college and I might be able to maybe get a bit of a pension going somewhere, because I'd never done any of that stuff. Because I were always like, live for today. You know, when somebody said to me in my 20s, like, you need to get a pension, I'd be like, yeah, if that's 40 years away, well, worry about that then. So I was always like that. And then when it started making more money than the 50 quid a week, 50 quid a month, and we started making a bit more money, it's really strange. I looked on, this is maybe 2 years ago now, I looked on the government website and it said, when I retire, I'll get a full pension for my contribution. So it'll be about £1,000 a month. So I said to my husband, I said, you know what, if I can make £1,000 on a deal, and I put that £1,000 away because I was 63 at the time, so I had 4 years to work, then I can bring my retirement forward a month. So if I keep working, every £1,000 I earn, I can meet my retirement somewhere in the middle, thinking I'd be able to retire when I were about 65. But I retired 2 years ago because not only did it do that, but it now, and I'm going to say something that sounds really arrogant, but this blew my mind 2 weeks ago, not last week, week before. Absolutely blew my mind. Can't talk about what it is about or anything like that. But when teaching were getting really hard, because it's not an easy job, I cut down to 3 days a week, so I'm working 3 days a week. So we're earning about £19,000 a year. 2 weeks ago, I went to London for the day, did a thing that I can't talk about yet, and I earned £19,000. So I earned in a day what I could earn in a year teaching, and it is absolutely
blow your mind. Yeah.
Mind blowing to think.
You just crashed through into another dimension.
It's a whole What on earth is that about? I mean, that's a rare occasion and that much per. But
it's not sabotaging it and being open to it. And some people, it can fluster them. You know, when they think, "Oh, I don't deserve this. Like, what's going on? I better not. I'll stay here because this feels comfortable. This is what I've always done." And it's just walking into it.
I think in life, sometimes what you got to do is, and I think. Yeah, I agree with you there, but sometimes you've just got to. I think when I got sober, and like I said, I had nobody, because my family had all they hadn't fallen out with me. They just didn't know what to do with me, really, basically. So and I built my life right from the beginning again. But what I kept taking was, and I still do this today, and I'll explain what I mean when I say I take a leap of faith. I don't mean like that sort of faith. To me, what faith is if I do this, it's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. For example, at the moment, the leap of faith is I'm going to play it Tomorrowland next year. Yeah. Nothing's confirmed, but it's going to happen. If I say it often enough and people hear it, it only takes one person to hear it and go, so that's what I mean by a leap of faith. I'm going to do this, and it's going to work. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, is all that faith is. So, for example, I was working in a cafe and earning basic wage, and I thought, right, I need to do something with my life. And I also thought, I remember sitting on a wall one day and thinking, I've got more to give than this. I owe a debt. When I got sober, so many people helped me, even with sentences like, deal with your addictions and they're going to kill you. Anything like that. I kind of owe a debt. I see it as a debt that I owe to whatever it is. Society, people, anybody, anything. Yeah. Pay it forward debt for getting sober and surviving it all. So I was working 5 days a week in this cafe, and then I thought, right, what can I do? So I went to Halifax, and there was a jobs fair on. And there's a woman stopped me, she said, do you want to come to college? And I went, I don't know. She says, what do you want to do? So I said, I owe a debt and I need to give something back. That's it. And she went, health and social care then? And I went, I suppose. Anyway, she said, fill this in. So I filled it in, thought note of it. And then I was accepted onto this course in September. And the course was going to be on a Wednesday and a Thursday, I think it was. And my day off was Wednesday. So I went into my boss and I said, can I cut down to 4 days a week because I want to have Thursday off as well so that I can do his college course. And my boss, he was a really nice bloke, really nice guy, lovely Ed, but he said no because it was a full-time job. And I think he also knew that if he allowed me to do it, I'd eventually leave. So he kind of said, not really, no, because it is full-time. So when I say leap of faith, I just went, right, well, you'll have to take me notice then because I'm going to do this. Not knowing how I'm going to pay my rent, not knowing how I was going to survive. I just went, but because something just felt like, no, I'm going to college, I'm going to do it. And straight away, I went home, put my week's notice in, and then I rang my sponsor up, my AA sponsor up, and went, oh. And she went, no, it'll be fine, she said. And then she said, I said, what do I do? She said, apply for loads of different things, throw them up in air, and fate will catch whichever one you're supposed to do. And I went, so I just applied for loads of different jobs. And then I got this job in home care, like going around wiping people's bottoms for a living. And I rang her up and I went, I've got a job in home care. And she went, oh, well, that's what you're supposed to do then. And I went, yeah, clearly. Thinking, anyway, I loved it. And it led me down the road of health and social care, to college, to university, to teaching, to mental health, to TikTok, to sitting here right now. Wow. Just because that day I went, right, well, you'll have to take me notice then. And that to me is what a leap of faith is. It's not about all this divine intervention. It's about going, I'm going to do that.
Very young at heart though as well. Yeah. And not a lot of people have that sort of mindset. As you start to age, it kind of becomes a bit of a thing of, I need to slow down now, or I need to do. And you were very, very forward thinking always, and I think that is the beauty of your mindset as well. Like you say, I'm really lucky, and I feel so lucky, and you've said that a few times already today. It's your mindset that's creating this. You're blessed with thinking like that, because you're not pulling in the opposite direction of, oh well, I'm settled now, and you've never been settled. You're still not settling. You're talking about playing at Tomorrowland next year. You're looking forward to things.
I'm talking about it.
It's happening. It's happening.
We've got to do it.
Yeah. And that is it. It's that audacity of thinking that there's more, and you can do more, and you will do more, and you're looking forward to it. And that's.
But I think
that's
part
unique.
of that. Sorry, I think part of that as well is what I was saying when I started working in home care. I started going around people's houses, and that's when I had no idea that some people are in the house, and you go in the morning, you take them from the bed to the chair, then you go back at night and you take them from the chair back to the bed because they can't walk or because they can't get out or whatever. And that's when I learned that a lot of people, they get to the stage where you've got to go in and cook for them and feed and help them. And that's when I learned that even now people will say, you need to slow down, or I'll sit down when I've got to, because I've seen far too many people in a room this size where the bed is there and the chair's there, and you get them up, put them in the chair, they watch telly all day, then you go back and put them in bed because that's what their life is. And I've seen that in people's homes, and I will do that when I have to. Until then, I'm playing at Tomorrowland next year.
I absolutely love that.
I do.
Love it. It's and faith. Obviously, faith. You can look at it through whatever lens you want, whether it's religion, spirituality, or just how you've said.
Yeah,
it's something. It's tangible. It's like I can feel something that's telling me to do this thing.
This feels right
now.
Yeah,
I'm very similar to you, and I've took the leap of faith a lot of times.
Yeah.
And guess what? It always works out. Always. Because you find a way.
Yeah. Always works out. Always.
You do. And whatever you're doing at this moment in time is exactly where you need to be for your path. And
so my daughter-in-law's with me, and she's going through something similar at the moment where she's taken a massive leap of faith.
Steph, wherever you are right now, you're exactly where you need to be.
Yeah.
Go on, Steph.
Yeah, she's in the middle of a leap of faith right now, aren't you?
Yeah, good. Do you know, have you ever seen the Slumdog Millionaire?
No.
I'll just quickly tell you, because I just love that story, because it's a chap who he ends up getting on. It's a chap in India, I think, and he ends up getting on their version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? And this chap walks in thinking that he's thinking he's got no chance of winning this show. And what happens is, it just so happens that the 12 questions that he gets asked, it goes back to a certain point in his life that he's experienced this one thing. And he gets right up to the end of the thing, and he ends up winning the millions. So it's like, okay, it might not feel like you're in the right place right now, but you actually are. Just have faith.
Because if we hadn't been back there where he was then, then
Yeah.
this wouldn't have happened now. And it's just,
Exactly.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just think when you just start accepting things like that, like you said, that you just, one of the things that I do a little bit of work nowadays with addiction and with helping people in addiction, things like that. And I'll quite often say to them, what were you worried about 6 months ago? 6 months ago today, what were you worrying about? And they'll go, I don't know. And I'll say, exactly. Whatever it was, it worked out because you're not worrying about it now, are you?
Yeah.
So it always works out. And little things like, sometimes I think it comes with like experience, doesn't it? When I first got sober, I remember once getting and this helped with like I said, with this like just go for it. I would just get myself back on track. I know, like half my money would go on my rent, and I would just like really. But I was like this little. I was sober, so I was happy as is possible to be in my little orange skirt for £1, Anyway, and a bill dropped through the door, and it was a Sky bill, £80, and I looked at it and I thought, how the heck am I going to pay that? How on earth am I going to pay this Sky bill? I have no idea how I'm going to pay this. Anyway, that night I went to bed and I thought, right, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I've been told it's going to be all right, so I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to go to sleep, and it'll be all right. Anyway, I woke up next morning, it drops another letter through the door, and it was, I'd been underpaid child benefits from years ago, and it was a payment back of £72.92. And I remember ringing my sponsor up going, oh my God. And she went, yeah, see? And I went, but I know it's a bizarre thing, but that one thing, that made me think, oh. And then, the next time something was going to happen, I thought, it's going to be all right.
What do you think that is?
Faith. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
It's something bigger though, eh?
Oh, definitely.
Something bigger than us.
There's something bigger than us that is just there to. Yeah. And as you said, it's really funny because I have a good faith now, but it's not in religion because I don't go to church. I was brought up a Catholic, so I'm a recovering alcoholic and a recovering Catholic. So because I think there's a lot. I don't need to go into religion. I do think one thing I will say is, I think that if you got somebody from every single religion round a big table, and you said to them, forget your churches, forget your statues, forget your clothes and your cultures and your foods and all that, forget all that, right at the centre of what your religion teaches you, what do you believe? And every single one of them would say, don't harm anybody, be nice to people.
Love thy neighbour.
All that. Be nice to other people, don't harm anybody, do the right thing, be kind. And that's it. So, and like you said, and I think that's at the core of what everybody does. And if we do that, then, as you said, there is a power greater than us. There's different ways of looking at it. I mean, I was told to find a higher power. And it was a really simple...
Is that through the AA?
Yeah, through AA. Yeah. And I was like...
What are your thoughts?
AA saved my life. I think the problem with AA is... No, it's not a problem with it, sorry. I love AA and I don't have a problem with it. Outside perceptions of AA, because AA was formed in 1937, they use the word God as a higher power. So, therefore, everybody comes in and goes, oh, God, it's religion. And God isn't. It isn't religion. It's not about religion at all. It's about faith. But the guys that wrote the big book in 1937
were religious people.
So they put the word God in there. And that, it's really strange. It's probably put off millions of people, but it's also saved millions of people. Yeah. But the thing is, that for me, I have to say that I had to find a power greater than myself to get sober, because me running the show, I'm making a right mess of it. I just kept getting drunk. And I had to find something, but I couldn't find it in religion, because I was brought up a Catholic, and that really, this is very deep stuff. I had a real problem with the Catholic religion. But I had to find, I knew that I had to find something, because otherwise I needed to rely on something to keep me sober. Faith, whatever that faith is. I can remember a few certain things that, like I was saying, there's certain sentences that changes people's lives, isn't there? And if you can hear the same thing over and over and over again from different people, but if one person says it differently, it's the same thing again, but that one thing resonates. And somebody once said to me, she was a real harsh woman. She said, I went, yeah, but I have a problem with God, because, I'm not doing God. I'm not doing it because, I brought up a Catholic. And she says, that's religion you've got a problem with, not a higher power. And I wanted to stay sober, because when I finally got sober, if you'd have told me to sing Jerusalem in the middle of the street with a bucket of me and I'd stay sober, I would have done it, because I didn't want to drink again. So I were open to all these things. But she said to me, she says, you don't believe there's a power greater than us? And I went, I don't believe in God. And she went, stop breathing. And I went, what? She went, stop breathing. So I went, well, I can't, can I? She went, why not? So I said, well, and she's basically, you might be able to try stop breathing for a certain length of time, but you'd go blue and you'd faint, but you wouldn't stop breathing, because you can't stop breathing. It's not possible. So I went, correct, you're right, I probably would go blue and then faint. She said, but you wouldn't stop breathing, would you, on your own self-will? And I said, no. So she said, so what's that then? And I went, she said, well, there's something within you that stops you from that. And I went, yes. So she says, so that within you, does that suggest that there's a power greater than you within you, because you can't stop breathing? And I went, ooh.
Heavy.
And I went, oh.
Slap.
Oh.
And
now that makes sense.
That makes sense to me. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, that I could go with.
Yeah.
So, and I said, I can handle that. And then for me, this is another weird one as well, but she said, and I did this, I was reading a book, and it was called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. One of my favourite books even still.
Yeah, very powerful book.
Yeah, it is a very powerful book. I don't know if have you read it?
Yeah.
So there's a bit in there. Have you read it?
Yeah, we covered it on the show, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, we did it, yeah.
There's a bit in there and it says, read the next paragraph to yourself, right? And this changed everything. This changed absolutely everything. And it said, read the paragraph but not out loud. So I read this next following paragraph. I don't even know what the paragraph said, but I read the paragraph in my head. And then in the next sentence it said, can you hear the words in your head? So I put, yeah, I can. I can hear the words being said. So what's listening to that then? And I thought, can I swear on your podcast?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, fucking hell. So what's listening then? So I thought, yeah, if so then I could separate my head from my heart, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I thought, and all that, then I was able to, I started thinking, oh, bloody hell, yeah, it's right, is that, like I am not my thoughts, because something within me can hear my thoughts.
Yeah,
so therefore,
I
can differentiate between the thoughts and whatever else is in there that I can't stop breathing. It listens to my thoughts, but I don't. So I don't have to do what my thoughts tell me to do. I can listen to them, but I don't have to do it. In other words, when my thoughts go, tell them all to piss off and go get drunk, and I don't have to listen. I don't have to do that because I'm not my thoughts.
Yeah. Wow.
I can listen. And that's actually when I started to love myself as well, because then when I could sit there and think, well, you're nothing, you've had your kids taken off you, all that negative self-talk that we've talked about, then I could also sit there and go, I love you very much, Anne, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because you're not that bad. And then I was sat in bed one morning reading all my books and all my literature from AA and all that. And I was just sitting there and with my day off, and I thought, anyway, basically I thought, I'll get up and I'll I read my books, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to a meeting and go see my friend for the day. And I suddenly thought to myself, this is pretty cool, this, isn't it? This actually, this thing that's raises within me. It knows all my deepest, darkest secrets. It knows all the bad things that I've done when I was drinking, all the bad thoughts I've had, all the horrible things that I've thought about and done. And yet, and it's been there listening all the time to all the things. And yet it's still there this morning saying, why don't you get up, put a bit of makeup on, put your nice orange pants skirt on and go to a meeting?
Still loves you.
Because it loves me. And I thought, what's that if it ain't God? And then I thought, and that's when everything went, that'll do for me.
I don't think I've heard a better explanation. Because we're very open-minded. We talk about spirituality, God, religion.
Yeah.
But I remember us covering Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he's very big on God is within you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like whatever God is.
Whatever it is, it's
within
just,
you.
Yeah.
So,
you can't stop breathing.
Yeah.
Because it won't let you, because it's not your time.
Yeah.
And it just, and it listens, and it's always there through all the bad, through everything that you've done, all your thoughts, everything I did when I was drinking, and believe me, I were a party girl, all that stuff, and still there saying, you look pretty today when you put a bit of makeup on it. Why don't you get up, put a bit of makeup on, go to a meeting. You're having tea at your friend's house, today's going to be a good day. Yeah. And that's it, just hit me. I just thought, well, that's not if it ain't God. And all that religion, all my childhood, all suddenly made sense in that one thought there, that the Catholic religion's got a lot to answer for me, but it made sense.
How you interpreted it in the moment of the teachings, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
or
because
who was instigating that?
Yeah. Afterwards, when I got to 6 months sober, my mum died. So when she died on a Saturday, and on the Sunday morning, I thought, I think I'll go to Mass, just literally because, to feel close to my mum, because my mum was the big Catholic. My mum and dad were both practising, they brought us up. Yeah. And they brought us up in the way that they thought was right. They didn't do anything wrong. They brought us up in the Catholic religion. And just because I didn't get it, didn't mean to say that, Anyway, so I thought, I think I'll go to Mass just because it made me feel close to my mum. And I went to Mass and it all made sense. All the prayers and everything, in a way, I still think they're all a bit,
Because you were open to receive it, though, weren't you?
It all made sense, yeah. But what I did learn eventually was, as I went along, like you said, it's about spirituality, so I definitely have a faith. I definitely believe there's a power greater than me, and God does it look after me. Like, that's what I mean when I say I'm lucky. So to people that don't understand spirituality, I'll say I'm really lucky, me. What I really mean is I'm loved and cared and looked after. I am. So all of that made sense with the Catholic religion, but the one thing I did, suddenly, I thought, maybe I didn't believe in Jesus, like Jesus Christ. Oh, behave yourselves, you know what I mean? But actually, maybe there was a man that had this.
Yes.
He had this within him, this big kind, big good, do the right thing, want others to do well. And people didn't understand it, but they wanted it. So what they did is they tried to create it externally by building buildings and things like that. And what I've always said since then is that if I suddenly went to my higher power, the thing that loves me, and I built and I said, I need your money. I need all your money, please. And we're going to build a building and we're going to put big gold statues in. So I'd do all that. And then I'd stand there in a big gold cloak and all this sort of thing. And I'd go, ta-da! I'm pretty sure my higher power would go, that's really lovely, that Anne. However, all you really needed to do was help that old lady across the road yesterday and I'd have been just as happy. And that's where But one thing I didn't know I needed to do, which I did in the end was, and I didn't know until afterwards, that I found my own higher power, but I needed to make sense of the Catholic upbringing. I needed to make sense of that God. I needed to make peace with it because I had a lot of resentments and things like that, but I did need to make peace with it. So by doing all this stuff, I realised that actually I could make peace with that. Yeah. And
probably because you're a very strong-willed character and not easily led. You're in charge of your own autonomy sort of thing.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So.
And I do call my higher power God now. We'll say God. But I'll be careful where I say it, because sometimes when you say to somebody, God's looking after me, they go, oh, God, she's religious.
Yeah.
No, I aren't.
Yeah, but so what?
But I wanted to call it God, but I could only call it God when I could make peace with that God that I was brought up with. So I was able to do that. So now I can, in people that get it, I can easily say, oh, yeah, well, you know, it's all in God's timing, isn't it? And I don't mean religion or anything like that. What I mean is things will happen when they're supposed to, and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you've gone there. Thank you for that. Yeah.
So I am.
That's who you are.
Yeah.
That's who you are. I mean, well, we're nearly at the end there, but I mean, I just want to maybe pluck a few of your most favourite experiences where this life has brought you to recently, and you know, if you can.
Mind blowing.
What came first? Was it the pretending to be a DJ, or were you a DJ?
Pretending to be. Oh.
She's visualising.
Yeah, visualising. Yeah, I was doing TikTok. So very quickly, the story, like I said, was challenging my students in lockdown. And then when I came out of lockdown, I said to them all, you know, you'd achieved this amazing video that they made. And then I said, so set me a challenge. So they said, get 10,000 followers on TikTok. And then it all went viral. I started taking off. And I was doing different dances and things like that in my kitchen and stuff like that. And everybody kept saying, like, you need to find a niche. And I thought, what do you mean by find a niche? How do you find a niche? But I literally one day wanted to do Silence by Delirium. And it reminded me of those old clubbing days on Manningham Lane in Bradford. And so I literally got 2 pan lids, put them on my kitchen top, put a set of headphones on, did Silence by Delirium, and it blew up to 32 million views. And that was it. It just became known as this like pots and pans DJ, and it's one of my niches. And then, so we're doing that and then, like I said, we're working with record labels, things like that. And then somebody got in touch and said, would I like some proper DJ lessons? This is about getting on towards 2 years ago. So she offered, it was a lovely lady from Melody DJ in Leeds called Claire, and she gave me 6 DJ lessons for free, but not for free. We documented it on her site and on my Instagram and on hers, and she doubled her followers on everything, you know. So so I had 6 lessons, and then from there I did. So that was that, and I loved it straight away. Absolutely loved it, because you said you've been DJs. You can lose the world, don't you? Just like it's in a world of.
I've done 9 mixes this year. That I've got a Mixcloud account, and I still use it. I don't play out often. Yeah. But I still use that as my escape. Yeah. A lot of people find their own thing in terms of like exercise. They'll go to the gym. But the gym's my work, so I don't get to, you know, get a release valve, if you know what I mean. And music is that for me. Yeah. So
good for your mental health, isn't it? You know, it's just
get lost in it.
Yeah,
You're
me
in the
too.
flow, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're just in the flow.
Yeah, and just enjoying yourself. Yeah. So then I bought some. I did a brand deal with. I think it was a Burberry one. Anyway.
Just Burberry.
Yeah. And so with the money that I made from it, I bought a set of decks. So I bought, because of course, all or nothing. I'm an addict, so I went and bought some XR3s straight away, because if I'm going to do something, I want to sit in my dining room and I want to do it right. Like this Saturday, me and my 2 sons are going to look at CDJs. We're going to look at some big ass decks. So I bought some decks at home, and I do lives, but actually I'd go live on TikTok quite a bit doing the DJing on a weekend, and you'll have seen me. And as much as I'm not allowed to say this on TikTok, because you're not supposed to do it, but people give gifts, don't they, on TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
They all go to charity. All that goes to charity.
Does it?
But I'm not allowed to say it on TikTok, because you're not allowed to accept. So.
Right, okay.
So the gift, but the gifts that I get go to charity, so I still give them to charity. So, so then I started practicing and doing live sets, and then I got...
It's just so good.
Offered. Then somebody came to me and offered they wanted to do a song with me, so we wrote a song, but it didn't do really well. It did all right, and I did a gig, and then next thing I know, I think one of the most amazing things that happened still to this day was I got invited to do a Christmas party. It was a private Christmas party in LA last year, and it was for OBB Media. So apparently the guy who's the CEO of OBB Media He's a big fan of mine. And when I saw him, he said to me, I spend all day running my media company. I spend all night watching your TikToks. So nice. Anyway, so I went, and there I was in LA at this private Christmas party, dressed as Mrs. Claus, doing a set, and stood in front of me, largest day, with a big cigar in his mouth, dancing to my set, was Justin Bieber.
What did you think in that moment?
I was mind blown. I mean, it was a private party, so that I didn't take videos and photographs because the guy had been to a private party, so it's what it is. But he really enjoyed it. He enjoyed my set, and I'm like, it was just like,
we're having a little groove, Bieber.
Yeah.
Man, Justin.
How cool is that?
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
Bradford lass.
Yeah, I know,
Love
and
it.
it just absolutely
love it.
amazing. Yeah, DJing and just. The different things that I've been able to go and do and see and just like I'm a regular in London now. Yeah. And people that I worked with, Marshall Jefferson, who's one of the whole... came to my kitchen and did a DJ set in my kitchen.
Did he?
Yeah, did a song.
That is crazy. He's like one of the legends of house music.
Came to my house and had a cup of tea. And,
Absolutely bonkers.
some of the stuff that I'm doing at the moment as well. Going to Tomorrowland, at 64 years old.
Yeah.
I was knackered when I got back, but I did. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And actually, not just that. Back to the old. My two sons went with me because not as my sons, they went with me, but actually they are my editor and videographer. So actually, when I go places now, I'm able to take them with me because they go as my team. They're part of my team, you know what I mean? So we went to Tomorrowland, and and there was a bit where we were at the main stage, and Dimitri Vegas was on the main stage at Tomorrowland, and my two sons were in front of me, both going like this, just like, what's that about?
Can you explain how it feels to get a crowd going to one of your sets? Explain that feeling.
Honestly, it's just amazing, isn't it? Yeah. I remember
when people are really sending it.
Yeah.
They're just loving what's going on.
I did a set in London.
So good.
Yeah, I did a set in London a few weeks ago, and I played Darude by Sandstorm.
You showed us a video, didn't you?
And but at one point, when it goes down to the low bit, I think everybody got down on the floor. They were all doing this on the floor.
Yeah.
And then building up to the drop.
Yeah.
And I was just there thinking, this is amazing.
If you could bottle that emotion, like, crazy. Yeah.
So lucky to be in a position to be able to do that is just like, and it still I find it a bit unreal that when I did Forcefields Festival in Wisconsin, and they flew us out there, business class and all that, and then put us up in this, like we were on site and all this sort of thing. And all the time I'm thinking, nobody will probably even know who I am when I get there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But people were stopping me all the time. And then when I came to the stage, it were heaving. people had come to the festival just to see me.
It's bonkers.
That's why Tomorrowland needs me.
Yeah, they do. It's happening.
They need me.
They do.
Yeah, I'm so lucky. Just the feeling is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be able to. The thing about the music as well is being able to express yourself through your own music taste as well.
Sure.
It's just.
It's a shared experience. It's like everyone's connected at that moment.
Yeah.
Young, all different age groups. There were people at that festival that were 15, 16, 18 or whatever age they were, and there were people that were older, and just, just the feeling that the united, like you said, people. Yeah. When I was at Tomorrowland, I suddenly heard, we were in the crowd on the main stage, and I suddenly heard, Auntie! And this man came running over like this. And he had a fluorescent pink fishnet top on or whatever it was, t-shirt. Him and his...
Not me, will it?
And he came over, and him and his mate, or husband, mate, whatever, came over, And they were we danced with them and they were hugging me and all this sort of thing. And then they went, oh, we're just so glad we could see you. We're just so glad we could see you. And I said, can I ask you a question? I said, you just approached me straight away. And he went, we're safe with you, Auntie. Oh, he said it first. He said, I feel so safe when I'm with you, Auntie. And I went, can I ask you what you mean by that? And he went, you're just safe. He said, we look at you. Everybody looks at you and we know that we can be who we are with you and that you'll accept everybody as you are.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, that is priceless. Yeah. That's absolutely priceless. Anybody young or gay, straight, whatever, can come up and know that they can come up. Yeah. Because they just know that I'm a safe place, and I am, you know. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
There's that quote from Coach Carter that says something like, let your light shine, it gives permission for others to do the same.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Just by being yourself, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's quite a nice way to cap it off there.
Yeah.
Crazy Auntie Anne.
Crazy. It's in the title.
Thank you so much. Honestly, this has been so quality to bring you in, and thank you for sharing everything. Yeah, I mean, what's next?
Oh, what's next? Tomorrowland.
Apart from Tomorrowland next year.
More DJing, more concerts. We've actually, strategically now, back to business-wise, Mark and Ian, who are my team, my sons, they filmed Forcefields and London, and filmed the last few gigs that we've done. They've filmed, and then they've worked really hard to make it into a video that we can send out. Because this year, my managers were like, we want to put on in Ibiza, blah blah blah. But they all came back and said, but does she really? They didn't even know I really DJ'd. They're like, we need to see a set. We appreciate who she is. We know who she is. Yeah. We know that she does pots and pans, but we don't know she DJs. So they needed to see proof that I actually DJ'd. So we've been working really hard. My sons have been working really hard in the last couple of months, and we've just finished it, putting together a proper video of me DJing to send out. Yeah. So what's next, hopefully, is more gigs next year, Ibiza, more festivals and things like that, more DJing. Also podcast as well. I want to start doing a podcast.
Oh, wink, wink. Heard it here first.
Yeah, podcast. And my first guests are going to be you two guys.
Oh, yay. Yes. Get in. That's an exclusive.
That's going to be more for YouTube with a bit of luck. You know, again, is it strategic? I don't know if it is. I found that YouTube, they're very much into like copyrighted music, so it's been a lot harder to break into YouTube than it is on other platforms because of the whole music thing. Yeah. So we need to move in a different direction if we're going to keep YouTube going. So we've done quite a few vlogs and things like that. So, but I have like I said, I have an amazing team around me that have done all that. And so, yeah, more festivals, more music. Love music.
That sounds like heaven.
Yeah. Paradise. Yeah, I'm really lucky. Like I said, I'm just this Friday. I'm going. There's something happening this Friday. I think I'm just waiting for confirmation. Down to London, which hopefully will have a big impact on the festival scene.
There you go.
But I'm just waiting for confirmation for that. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you for your time.
So
thank you for coming on the show. We've absolutely loved it. Like, I'm just beaming. I'm absolutely beaming. I think it's an amazing story, amazing message and lessons that we can learn from your story and how you move through your life with authenticity. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Whatever's next, you deserve it.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, probably lunch.
Well, you deserve it. I hope it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Give Crazy Auntie Anne a follow on all the socials.
Yeah. Crazy Auntie Anne on all platforms. Yeah. And
you'll be.
You won't regret it. If you want to laugh. There
you go. Right.
Nice one. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Beautiful.
Love that.